is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, back with another video. This video is sponsored by Simply Carbon Fiber. Simply Carbon Fiber is having their 9th anniversary sale and it's 30% off store-wide. So make sure you go check them out. They have all type of accessories such as the slim full carbon fiber wallets that fit up to 7 cards, are super lightweight, durable with some cash in the back as well. They also have full carbon fiber keychains, phone cases, sunglasses, watches, and all type of fun carbon fiber accessories. So make sure you take advantage of their 30% off anniversary sale. Link in the top of the description down below. All right, for today's video, we got another garage update for you guys. You guys enjoy these videos and you always ask for them, even though I think I've done one not too long ago, but I don't think I had the H2R back then. So this is gonna be a garage update and actually another announcement of a new series that I'm doing on YouTube, which you guys will probably be part of if you're local or if you want to get your bike featured on my channel. So that's exciting to come, but we'll start with a little garage review, talk about pretty much the bikes that I got from first to last, just tell you a little bit about them. So start right away with my beautiful Ninja. This is the OG in the collection. Yeah, I got this bike like right before like the whole pandemic time era and all that. So yeah, it's been about a little over 3 years actually, or something like that. But this was my first leader bike, believe it or not, is actually the Ninja H2. Back then I had like about 2 years of experience and I wanted to get a ZX-10R, a 2019 one, and the Nardo Gray, if you guys know which one I'm talking about. I really liked that one, but I kind of just went shopping one day online. I was like, let me look at Ninja H2s because it's my ultimate dream bike. And well, technically the ultimate dream bike is the H2R, which is the last one in the collection. So it's kind of funny. It's like full circle, you know, the H2R is like the ultimate dream bike, but since it's like a track, super expensive bike, very limited, hard to find, I was like, it's, you know, like, I don't know if it's like worth that much hassle. So the Ninja H2 is like half the price. It is, you know, it has fans, it has lights, so it's road legal, and it's already plenty power in comparison to anything else. So I was like, you know, this is the realistic dream bike. So it's kind of funny that we started with the realistic dream bike and we ended with the unrealistic dream bike. And that's, of course, thanks to you guys. So I'm always happy and just appreciative of you guys supporting the channel. And hopefully we're getting close to 1 million, so that's going to be great. And I know you guys want me to get another bike for 1 million subs, but if you can't tell, my garage is pretty full right now, so I don't know about getting another bike for the 1 million sub unless we get rid of something. Possibly, I don't know, could be the KTM, it could be the Aprilia, it even could possibly be the Rush. I don't really know because these are the bikes that I don't ride the most. I would say the Aprilia and the KTM are, I don't want to say my least favorite because I love them all, you know, like that's why I got them. If you guys didn't know, my goal was to collect pretty much one of like the best bike from each brand. We got Kawasaki, we got Ducati right here, we got Honda right here, the Fireblade Triple RSP, we got the Yamaha R1M, the Aprilia 1100 Factory, and the Augusta Rush, the M1000RR, not the S1000, it's an M. We got the KTM Super Duke. KTM doesn't really have like a top bike that is kind of like a special model. Similar thing with Aprilia. Technically, the Aprilia 1100 Factory is like their special limited model, especially when they first came out because they had like the regular factories, but I don't know, it's a little confusing and different now. So R1Ms, I know they're limited to 300. The Fireblades are limited to the same thing. Most of these bikes are limited to like 300 to 500, if not less. Some bikes like the Rush actually have a plaque on them, as you guys can see right here where it says it's number 124 out of 300. This is also limited, and this is even more limited because this is a 2022 model, and back then that's when they had issues with like the production and all that because of, you know, the pandemic and all that. So I've heard that there's only like 170 of these that were shipped to the US. So this is obviously very limited, and it's funny because sometimes when I say like I'm taking the Fireblade or the M1000RR and they're rare bikes to like an event or something, you guys are like, why is it rare? This is not a regular Fireblade. This is the Fireblade Triple RSP, which is a very rare bike. If you can see right here, it is not the same as a normal regular Fireblade. These are very limited. Same thing, I think like under 200 are in the US. I think the goal was like 300, but not all those got delivered. It was so hard to get that I actually got it from a different state and got it shipped here. Same thing with this, you know, they're not the easiest to find, but I think they're slightly easier to find the M1000RRs, even the new ones, they're all already rolling in right now. They're a bit easier to find than the Hondas. The Hondas is like not as popular, plus it's as rare as this, so that's why you rarely see them out. But the Super Duke technically is like KTM's top best bike, and it has crazy hype. You guys really wanted me to get one of those, so that's why I got it. First bike in the collection was the Ninja H2. Then I needed a daily because I was actually dailying the H2 and I rode it a lot and did a lot of stuff with it. And I was like, okay, I don't want to put that many miles on it, so let's take it easy. Let's chill down. So then I got the Yamaha R1M back there, and that was my daily. And I've loved the R1M. It was such an amazing bike. I think the H2 and the R1M have the most miles. H2 was first. R1M was second, technically. We're not going to talk too much about the other bikes that I got because I've gotten a lot of bikes other than these, but these are the main ones in the collection. The R1M, and then after the R1M was the V4R, which was a big dream of mine. I was very excited and happy to get, you know, when these V4Rs came out, I was obsessed with them. I was like, oh my God, I need me one of these. Similar with the BMWs. You know, I've always liked Ducati, but BMWs I wasn't a big fan of. But when the M1000 came out, I was like, yeah, this is it. You know, it just looked too good. You know, the wings were new, all the carbon, the decals, everything. And somebody told me that it looks like toothpaste, and I kind of get it. I get it. It kind of looks like toothpaste. I get it. You know, the colors with the, yeah. But I still like it. I think it looks really beautiful. But so after the V4R I was planning to get an M1000RR, but the deal failed unexpectedly, and I was really bummed, and I wanted to buy this bike, so I had the money ready and everything, and I was very spontaneous, and my friend worked at a dealership. I went to check out that Aprilia just to see it because I've always liked them, and I saw it and I was like, oh my God, this thing looks brand new. And because it only had 200 miles, even though it was like 2-3 years old at the time. So I was like, that's a steal, I need to get it. So I ended up buying the Aprilia as my fourth bike. And bike number 5, I believe, was this one, the M1000RR, since, you know, I wanted to buy it before the Aprilia, so it kind of didn't work out, but it worked out as the 5th bike. So I got the M1000 as the 5th bike. It was also brand new. After the M1000 was the Fireblade, and this was supposed to be the last in the collection. You guys might say, why the Fireblade? Honestly, I just saw it. I never thought I would get a Honda, but I was always like super sports all day, and I got like all the other brands, you know what I mean? So I was like, I wanted Honda. Suzuki, I'm a little 50-50 about, you guys know. I'm not sure about it because they don't have a special model. That's the issue with it. I do have a plan to get a Suzuki at some point. I'm just not sure when to execute it, especially because my garage is so full. It's not a bike that I'm dying to get, nor do I have the room for it, you know, or the extra money, even though it's like the cheapest one, but I'd rather spend that extra money on more parts, on modifying these bikes that I care about more. Plan is to get a Gixxer and make it a full-on track bike. So that's my plan for it because, you know, it's the cheapest bike, and it's probably going to be cheaper to maintain parts-wise, and it'll be cool. Since it's not a special model, I don't mind doing a full custom design on it and do something cool and crazy with it. So that's the plan for the Gixxer, hopefully a track bike, but also no good tracks, period, where I live. But there's a couple tracks that are kind of really far, like 4 hours or so away. So that's why I'm not like rushing for that, because as much as I want to do track days and all that, it's really inconvenient and it doesn't do the well for the business for YouTube. So I'm like, kind of what's the point besides, you know, fun, but it's also risk. If something happens, then I'm down and I can't film for you guys. So that's why I'm not like rushing on that right away. Yeah, the Fireblade I just thought looked really good. The integrated winglets, that was something like very new that I've never seen any bike do. I don't think till now, I don't think any bike has done it. That was it, and I like the stats. This bike, I think the stats say that it makes 217 horsepower, bone stock, something like that, either 215 or 217. I know the Aprilia, I think, is 217. I think this one is 216 or maybe 217 as well, but it doesn't matter, like 1-2 horsepower crank. So the stats on it were crazy. It looked pretty. It's kind of like a nice red. I never was a big fan of the Ducati red. That's why I replaced almost the entire bike to carbon fiber. But I painted this carbon fairing in some red to keep kind of like that Ducati like heritage color, I guess, or, you know, so it shows that like, hey, this is a Ducati still. So that's why I kept some red, but most of it is exposed carbon fiber, which is what I'm obsessed with. Fireblade was the last one, and I was supposed to have 6, and that was it. That was supposed to be the collection. This garage, I think 6 bikes was like comfortable. It wasn't too bad. I could put them all on stands, which I really like. Right now, if you guys can see, none of them are on stands. My stands are just in the graveyard back there because I literally don't have room. Stands like take more room, so I don't have room to put my bikes on stands anymore. So it's kind of a bummer because currently there's 9 bikes in the garage, 3 more than what I have planned for originally. So yeah, that was kind of like the initial Superbike collection, and I was happy with it, and that was it until like I move and expand or do something and then figure out from there. As I said, I wanted the best bike from each brand, and then I came across the Rush. I test rode it. I thought it was cool. I really like it. I think it's like, if not one of the best, then the best looking naked bike. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or not. I think the Lamborghini Street Fighter is a close second. But yeah, this bike I think looks very cool, like, you know, like a retro design, but like still modern. And I think it's like the coolest and best bike that MV Agusta makes currently, that is not super old and outdated. You know, like I know there's that Ford Claudio, which is like an $80,000 bike. Technically that is the best one, but it's a little old and like a lot harder to get, you know what I mean? Like as long as this is the top of, let's say, this year, that's what I want, you know? Because technically the V4R, when this first came out, this was the best Ducati ever had. Then they came out with the Superleggera, and technically that is the new top, but this is still top, you know, for something that is not crazy limited or like crazy. Like you never see a Superleggera on the road or anything else, so let alone these. So that's kind of like the point. And the Superleggera is pretty much just like the V4R, same engine, all that, just super light, aka Superleggera. So yeah, it's all like handmade and carbon titanium. It's amazing, don't get me wrong, but like for an extra, this bike is like $40,000. For an extra $60,000, technically $60,000 is the H2R. So the Superleggera is the price of the H2R and the V4R. If we're comparing all MSRP, because 40, 60, 100. Yeah, that's correct math. I blanked out for a second. I was like, hopefully I didn't get this wrong. That would be embarrassing, but yeah. So the Rush, I got it, and I had very mixed emotions about it because it's cool, it's amazing, but I don't see myself riding as much. As you guys know, I'm a super sport type of guy. It was kind of like, it was very mixed emotions, especially for the price of the Rush. Technically, this is a $45,000 bike, so it's even $5,000 more than this. And I'm talking just MSRP, no like fees or like taxes or anything like that, or parts, of course, because I've spent a lot of money on parts, like as much as the bikes almost. So yeah, and then I started doing custom work on this, like the custom GP shift that we did, custom exhaust, like custom mirrors, all that type of stuff. So that's when it got very personalized, and that's when I started to grow on me, because you guys know, like when I modify them, I get like, it's almost like a connection. We go through stuff, you know, it's never easy, so we go through ups and downs, and then they grow on me, and I'm like, I kind of want it, and it's cool in the collection. So then it was the Rush, and after that I was like, I only have one naked bike. This bike has clip-ons, if you can see. So clip-ons, there's like a triple tree clamp right here in the center, just like these super sport bikes, but the Super Duke doesn't have that. It's just a straight bar across that connects to both sides, and then the dash and all that mounts onto it, not a triple tree clamp like this. So technically, pretty much I wanted like a full-on naked bike, and you guys really wanted me to get a Super Duke, so honestly, I got this one for the fans, for you guys. So I still thought it was cool, and I wanted like a cool naked bike, and it's 1300 cc's twin engine, so I wanted something cool, unique, and different. So that's why we went with the Super Duke after that, and now we have 2 naked bikes. So, you know, the Rush isn't alone, and this is a true full-on naked bike, and it's kind of like the best naked bike, some people would argue. That was it, and then I was like, okay, 8 bikes, that is definitely it, no more. And then I don't know what happened to me, and it got stuck in my head that I really want an H2R, and I was shopping around for an H2R. Here we have it, the Kawasaki Ninja H2R. Since it was always like my ultimate dream bike, I was kind of like, I have an addiction. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's a problem. I admit it, but at least now I'm limited with space. That's why you guys are like, you should move, you should move. I'm like, yeah, first of all, moving is really expensive, especially where I live. Second of all, if I move, that means I'm gonna get more bikes, and that is not a good idea, because this is already a nightmare, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think this is a bit too many bikes, because having to maintain them, and if you want me to ride them all, it's just too much at this point. But it's kind of like a dream still, so I still deal with it. But definitely, like, the maintenance is crazy. Where I live, I have to register these bikes every single year, so having technically 10 bikes. I have the V4S, the Corsa, that is still being sold, by the way. So if you guys are interested in that, check out Molly Motorsports. It's still being sold over there. Think about it this way: every single month, almost, besides my car and, you know, other stuff, I have to pay registration. It's almost like another payment, because the registration on these bikes isn't like that cheap, because they're still pricey bikes. So I really wanted an H2R, and I was actually shopping around online where I'm selling the V4S Corsa. They told me that they had this bike on display. They got it like as a marketing stunt, I guess, but they kind of, it's a lot of money to be just sitting down as a, like, you know, piece, an art piece or whatever. So they decided to sell it not long after. We kind of managed to work it out. I honestly wasn't like even 100% sure about it, because it is very expensive, and I don't think necessarily that it's worth double the price of the H2. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's more about what the bike stands for. This is like the ultimate, the peak, kind of like the Superleggera. It's the ultimate, the lightest, the greatest that this company makes. And this is not like a small, Kawasaki is like one of the main biggest brands. Kawasaki, Ducati, BMW, you know what I mean? These are like top brands. So that's why it's kind of like, it stands to more, and plus having the world record back then of 0 to 400 kilometers in like 26 seconds is absolutely insane, which maybe one day we'll attempt, maybe. So that's pretty much it. I just walked you through the first and the last bikes. We'll probably do a part video on all these bikes at some point, or let me know in the comments if you guys want a part video. You know, all the bikes are essentially like this one has a full exhaust system, full exhaust system, full exhaust system, full exhaust system, full exhaust system. It comes with one. This one technically doesn't, but this came with an SU Project exhaust as an add-on. So it's like from MV Agusta, which is amazing. That's why it has like, it says SU Projects and Rush, but you can't get headers for it. So what we did is that we kept the OEM headers, and then we made a custom exhaust that you see right here to delete the cat, because the cat was right there. And now it's technically straight piped. We didn't get titanium headers or anything fancy like that, like some of these other bikes, because this has the full titanium Acro, the full titanium Brox, full titanium SC, full titanium SC. This one comes with the full titanium exhaust from Kawasaki, you know, the H2R exhaust, the ultimate. It technically has a 3/4 system, if you guys can see right here. It's coloring very beautifully, but yeah, it's not a full system because the cat is like right there. So pretty much as soon as you remove that, it's straight piped, so there's no need to do headers and stuff like that. Most of the time it's pointless, but for example, the BMW, as you guys see, but I had to replace the headers because the stock headers are attached to the cat and all that. So instead of like cutting it, like with this guy, you can just remove it right here. You just remove it. We didn't have to cut or anything. So it's just a link pipe that we ended up removing and made a link pipe that connects the slip-on to the headers. But some bikes like BMW, they don't have that link pipe. It's one piece, the header and the cat connected all the way, and then just a slip-on. So since it's two pieces, you got to replace them. Or the other option, which is like the cheaper kind of ghetto option, is to cut your headers, the stock ones, and just get some sort of link pipe and yeah, do that. But you know, these are not cheap bikes or anything, so I wanted the best for them. Same thing with the Fireblade. The cats were part of the headers, so that's why that bike was plenty loud, but I was like, whatever, let's do a full system. Let it fully scream, and that bike is definitely one of the loudest. Also, I do have the video for the sound decibel measuring all the sounds of all these bikes is coming very, very soon, maybe next week. So stay tuned for that, and please subscribe. The R1M is just like that one. So it's kind of like a 3/4 system. That's pretty much what it's called, where it connects right here, and there's these headers got no cats on them or anything. This is similar, just slightly a longer link pipe. And yeah, these are all just headers. So you can see it's all titanium, which is actually interesting because my year, this R1M is the first year the R1Ms were made, and they used to come with titanium headers. So technically this has a full titanium system. The new ones, they changed that. They don't do titanium headers anymore. They do stainless headers, and to keep the, you know, the price low, because they're like, oh, we put more money into like the technology, the tech and all that. So let's say this bike is $25,000, $26,000. The new ones, they don't come with any carbon. Like this bike came with this piece, and I think there's like, yeah, this piece right here. Those were all factory carbon fiber, and I added all the other glossy carbon on this bike. The new ones, they don't come with that, but since it has like electronic suspension, So if you guys can see, this is manually adjusted because technically it's a track bike. So most track bikes, they do have just the manual suspension, which is pretty much all my bikes. This one has electronic suspension because, you know, this is not a track bike. But see, the V4R doesn't have electronic suspension like the V4S. The Fireblade does, which is interesting. So yeah, companies go back and forth between electronic suspension. Like the BMW, this is their track bike, the M1000RR, and they did it manual. But for whatever reason, the Fireblade and the R1M, these are their top kind of like track bikes. And they came with electronic suspension. So I guess it depends on the brand. The only bike that does not have full exhaust is the Super Duke, and it is because the same issue. I would like to show you guys, but this bike is very stuck. So this is the cat that I'm talking about. This big giant box that is all the way here. And it is massive. Let me see if I can show you this way. And that is what muffles most of the sound. And that's why we remove it so the bike is in its full potential very much. You know, it's screaming and it makes more power, less restriction, more airflow, all the good stuff. But with this bike, same thing. There's no kind of like proper full system for it. So the plan was might disconnect from right here. If it does disconnect, then that makes it a little bit better. Then we can pull it off and then just make an exhaust right here and connect it to the slip-on down there, the SC Projects. So that is kind of the plan for it, but making custom exhaust is more expensive. Like just for that little link pipe is the price of pretty much a full-on proper slip-on. And this is stainless steel and that is titanium. So it's pretty expensive because, you know, you gotta like design it and make it and all that stuff. It's more expensive, and since I'm not very confident about the future of the Super Duke, what I'm doing with it and all that, and since it's like my daily that I don't want it to be too obnoxious, because it still sounds great with that 1300cc engine. Want to make it obnoxious? I obviously do, because you guys know me. I have an itch and I'm still itching to do that to it, but it is a lot of work, so I'm kind of like hesitant about it, and I'm like, I'm not sure. We'll see. Let me know again in the comments if you guys want to see that, or if I should keep it because it sounds good, but it's not obnoxious, you know? The main priority is always exhaust, and then carbon fiber, and then all type of touch-ups. Like this bike has a ton of full titanium parts and all that, so we'll do another video part breakdown, because this is already going to be like insanely long if I talk about like the parts of these bikes. But I just wanted to let you know that all these bikes are done up because I have an unhealthy addiction, as I've told you guys, with bikes, but also with modifying them. I don't like to just collect them, I like to personalize them. But yeah, that is the garage update for you guys, and now I'll tell you about the new series that I want to start. I'll put either the email or the Instagram right here on the screen for you guys, so contact me if you're interested in that. I'm going to be doing like a review series of actually, like, let's say you have, I don't know, a Gixxer 1000 that you want me to write a review. Hit me up, we'll meet up, you know, I'll take it for a little spin and do a little review on it. Obviously, we're gonna start the review series with my bikes. So we're gonna do all of these bikes, and it's gonna be reviewed based on criteria where it's like speed, comfort, value, sound, smoothness, easy of ride. Like there's a lot of categories, and it's gonna be points out of 10, and I'm gonna rank them and add up the points and see where they stack up, you know? I think it's gonna be fun. I like reviewing stuff. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, you should. It's K as well on Instagram. I like reviewing like food, movies, and stuff like that. So I'll be reviewing bikes and actually do a review scale of 1 to 10 and see which bike is the best bike technically. Even though like the HR is my favorite, I don't think it's gonna be up there because the value is kind of crazy on it, you know what I mean? So like it'll probably lose points on that. So who knows what bike is going to be ranked the best. Yeah, looking forward to that. Let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah, if you have a cool bike or, you know, an interesting bike that you would like me to review, hit me up and we'll, you know, connect, and you'll be featured on the channel, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just figured like let's do some sort of series, something a little different than the stuff that I've been doing, even though you guys love the meets and stuff like that. You know, it does get repetitive for me sometimes. So I'm excited for this series, and this is the new updated garage review, all 9 bikes, and technically my 10th bike, the Corsa that is being sold, the V4S, and my half bike, which is my full electric mini bike that I'm storing at my friend's shop. So that's not here, but you know, the main collection are these bikes right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and ride safe.